What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full slate of college basketball action here on Monday, February 16th. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under on each game. We're going to break down the biggest college basketball games of the night. I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So as a big thank you to me, take that 10th of a second and slam that like button. It really helps get these videos promoted out there on YouTube. It's a big part of keeping me motivated. Seeing that people enjoy this content really helps to get me in this room every single night and grind out a new video. Definitely check down below and see if you're subscribed to the channel. We have had an absolute wave of new subscribers recently, so big shout out to all of you. Being subscribed to the channel is absolutely free. Only takes like a half a second to check and see if you're subscribed, and we're on the road to 100,000 subscribers this year. Let's see if we can make that dream a reality. That would be a big deal. Also, get down there in the comments. Let me know anything you want to say about today's slate, about any picks that you see from me, about anything in these videos in general, or any questions you have across the sports world. I can get back to you if I know the answer, and if I don't know the answer, I can reach out to the premium handicappers over there at stumpthespread.com and see if they have anything to say on the matter. That's a very nice resource to have available. Also, make sure you're checking the pinned comment. That is the top comment below the video. That's where you'll find my favorite picks from the video every single solitary day. And yesterday, it was a little bit up and down, but we end up with a 4-2 day in the pinned comment. A rough start there with Denver plus 2.5. They came out flat in the first half and dominated the boards, but ended up losing this game pretty comfortably. That was a disappointment, but we cashed Merrimack plus 1.5. A dominant first half showing there from the Warriors. They come away with the 102-90 win as they continue to show very dominant stuff out there in the horizon. We cashed Belmont plus 1.5, and it was an insane shooting night from Belmont there in the second half to get the 87-70 win. They scored 63 points in the second half. That is absolutely wild. Not something you see every day in college basketball. We cashed Seton Hall minus 1.5. Things were close at halftime. The Pirates locked in for the second half and got the 63-56 win over a Butler team that just can't seem to get anything pointed in the right direction. So the thumbnail play, cash, that's a nice look. Green Bay plus 2.5 was a bit of a bad beat. It was a brutal 3-point loss for the Phoenix. They give up 50 points in the second half to get us the loss just by the hook and eventually losing by 3. So pretty brutal there. We did cash our massive lock of the day there on the USF Bulls on the money line. An insane overtime win for them. They actually had a chance to cover the spread as well there in the extra period, but didn't quite make it happen, and that's why the money line always is a little bit safer there for the lock of the day. So a 4-2 day overall. We actually only went 2-3 in our premium picks there on Sunday, but the premium college basketball picks have been absolutely insanely red hot. They were on a 15-5 run over the last 20 heading into Sunday. So having just barely a losing day, not exactly the end of the world. So we'll see if we can bounce back quickly there. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com, checking out all the premium stuff. Cashed a bunch of very solid golf stuff on the email newsletter, so make sure you're getting in on that. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and let's go ahead and dive in. We've got a bunch of games to cover here on kind of a weird Monday slate of college basketball action, but let's get after it. First up, we're looking at the Syracuse Orange as they go on the road to taking the number 4 Duke Blue Devils. Syracuse comes into this game 15-11 on the season, only 6-7 in ACC play. They have won their last 2 in a row, though, beating Cal and beating SMU. Both those games were pretty competitive. They actually only beat SMU by a single point. Now they got a bit of a tough schedule coming up. They face Duke, then UNC. So it's not exactly getting easy out there. This squad doesn't really have a go-to leading scorer. They kind of stay competitive by playing okay defense, putting up just enough offense to get the job done, and 260th in the nation total rebounding doesn't exactly get me jazzed up. So we'll see what they can do here against Duke. They did keep within 10 against UNC not too long ago. They lost by 13 against UVA, and both of those were road games. So we'll see what they can do here in, one of the toughest environments in sports. Now, Duke, they're 23-2 on the season, ranked number 4 in the nation. They're the top team in the ACC with a 12-1 conference record. They are fresh off of a nice 67-54 win there over Clemson. They did not cover in that game, depending on what number you got. The premium members got Clemson at plus 14, and that was a win for them. We'll see what Duke can do in this one. Obviously, they've been playing some kind of competitive games. Even let Pitt hang around there for a little bit, after that loss to UNC. But Duke is obviously a very dominant team. Cameron Boozer, one of the best players in the nation. They're in the top 50 in the nation in total rebounding. Their defensive numbers are excellent, and their offensive numbers are very good as well. Something that does concern me in this matchup, guys, Duke is in a huge look-ahead spot. They have number 2 Michigan on deck, a massive primetime game there on the 21st. So we'll see if they can stay locked in for this one. They're 21.5 point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 143.5. Syracuse is 4-2 against the spread on the road, 14-11-1 to the over. Duke is 5-7 against the spread at home, 18-7 to the under. Guys, this is just too big of a look-ahead spot here for the Duke Blue Devils. I gotta side with Syracuse getting all those points. They're a very solid road team. 4-2 against the spread on the road is not a bad look at all. I think the Orange can make this, a 10, 12, 15-point game, and all that is plenty good enough for us. Next on the dock, we're headed out to the NEC. We've got the Wagner Seahawks going on the road to taking the Long Island Sharks. Now, Wagner, they're having a rough year. They're 9-15 overall, only 4-9 in conference play. They are fresh off of a win over Stony Brook, getting the road win there 68-57. So well played. We'll see what they can do this time around against a Long Island Sharks team that's pretty good. They did lose in this matchup by 10 earlier this season, and when you look at the season-long numbers for the Seahawks, guys, I mean, being 320-something in the nation in total offense, it's going to make your life a little bit hard. So we'll see what they can do here. They are going on the road to take on Long Island, and the Sharks have been the best team in the NEC this year. They're 12-2 in conference play, 17-9 overall. They're coming off a loss. They actually came up short, and I mean, not exactly an amazing showing there against NHVN. That is the NHVN New Haven Chargers. So not a great look there from Long Island. They struggled in that game quite a bit. We'll see if they can have a little bounce back here. I mean, you only put up 52 points in a game. That is not a good look. They can, feel good about the fact they've had success against Wagner already this season. In that win, we saw Long Island shoot the ball really poorly from three, only made 1 out of 12 from deep, but they did a good job on the boards. They didn't do a great job knocking down their free throws, but they played some very good defense and made life tough on Wagner. The Long Island Sharks are 9.5-point favorites at home in this game. We've got a total of 135.5. Wagner is 8-5 against the spread on the road, 12-9 to the over. Long Island is 4-5 against the spread at home, 17-9 to the under. Asking a team like Long Island to cover double-digit points is a lot, but I think in this position, it's okay. They're in a bounce-back spot. Wagner's in a bit of a letdown spot coming off that win, and we've already seen what Long Island can do in this matchup. And if they can knock down a couple threes, things could really get out of hand. Give me the Sharks here playing at home. Next up, we're looking at the Morgan State Bears heading to North Carolina Central to take on the Eagles out in there in the MEAC. Now, Morgan State, they're 10-13 on the season, but at 6-2 in conference play, they're technically atop the conference. So things are looking good. They've now won 6 straight games. I guess really 5 straight. We're not going to count a non-Division I opponent, but they're coming off a nice win there over the Maryland Eastern Shore Hawks. So they'll definitely take that one, a 79-71 win. They've got a solid leading scorer in Alfred Worrell Jr. This team is in the top 250 in the nation total offense, which I know doesn't sound amazing, but has been good enough to get them the job done most of the time here in conference play. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against an interesting North Carolina Central Eagles team. The Eagles, they're 9-14 on the season, but 5-3 in conference play. So right there knocking on the door. They're coming off a tough loss against Howard, losing that one in blowout fashion. They've had a couple games postponed. Then over their last 4, they've lost to Coppin State by 2 points. That was a devastating one. Beat DSU, lost to Norfolk, so they've been a little bit all over the place. We'll see what they can do here against Morgan State. The Bears are a team they already beat once this season by 11. This squad is not great on the boards. Their defensive numbers are not amazing either, but they did have a ton of success in this matchup already this season. So we'll see if that comes into play in this one. I mean, in that win, we saw North Carolina Central shoot 44% from 3, only 4 of 9 from long range. They got to the line 33 times, but so did the Bears, and the rebounding edge also went to Morgan State, and we still saw North Carolina Central get the win. The Eagles are 5.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 154.5. Morgan State is 5-7 against spread on the road, 11-9 to the over. North Carolina Central, they are 3-4 against the spread at home, 12-7 to the under. This one is a bit of a tough one to call. I will lean slightly towards the home team here just because of the success they've already had this season in this matchup. But guys, this play, not going to make the pinned comment. Next on the dock, we get the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats going on the road to taking the Jackson State Tigers. Now, Bethune-Cookman, they're 13-12 in the season. They're currently the top team in the SWAC, so that has to feel great. 10-2 in conference play. They are coming off a tough road loss there at Alcorn State. So, yeah, that was a bit of a rough one. Obviously, you're not supposed to lose to a team that's third to last in the conference. Jacoby Heedy is a monster, 17-18 points per game, shooting 50% from the field. You don't see that all the time. This is a very good offense team. They've been putting up big numbers until, that really weak showing there at Alcorn State. They're in a bounce back spot for sure against a Jackson State team they already blew out by nearly 40 earlier this season. So we'll see what they can do on the road in this matchup. Now, the Jackson State Tigers are 8-17 on the season, 7-5 in conference play. They're coming off a win over a not terrible Florida A&M team. Deshaun Ruffin probably feels like he's the best player on the floor in this game. 22 points per game, 5.5 assists, not bad numbers, but you're shooting 43% from the field, so let's pump the brakes a little bit. This squad is 372nd in the nation, putting up 69.5 points per game. Not exactly a juggernaut on the boards either, and that's one of the reasons they got destroyed in this matchup earlier this year. We see Jackson State, they're only getting 5 points in this game. We've got a total of 148.5. Bethune-Cookman is 7-7 against spread on the road, 500 over/under team. Jackson State 4-3 against spread at home, 13-11-1 to the over. I know these revenge spots can be big for some teams, but I don't think Jackson State has it in them. Give me Bethune-Cookman here playing on the road. I think they're by far the better team. I think they're going to win this one very, very comfortably and easily cover those 5.5 points. Hey guys, before we hop in and break down the rest of this college basketball slate, we got to shout out the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is stumpthespread.com. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description or typing stumpthespread.com into your browser choice to get over there to Stump the Spread and check out the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium packages are at a significant discount because our premium members are only getting college basketball picks every single day, but that's just because the NBA and the NHL are on pause right now. The NBA for the All-Star break, NHL for the Olympics. Don't worry guys, those sports will be back very, very soon. NHL actually was on a very, very hot streak coming into the Olympics, so that's something we hope to continue. And NBA had a 2-0 night there on the last night before the All-Star break. So things are going really, really well. And they're going even better on college basketball right now. And that's why it's a great time to jump in and pick up a discounted all sports package, because you'll be getting those NHL and NBA picks as well as college basketball. And college basketball has been red hot. Going into Sunday, they were on a 15-5 run, coming off some very, very positive days like you've been seeing on the screen right now. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we did hit a bit of a bump in the road, going only 2 wins and 3 losses overall. So not a horrible day by any stretch. A little bit of some tough luck definitely mixed in their. Temple, -2 not coming through. South Florida really not playing their best, eventually getting the overtime win, but not by enough to cover, and Monmouth winning by only 1. Wright State and Merrimack both came through. Easy peasy, no problem there. So we'll be looking to get back on track here on Monday there in the premium section with the college basketball stuff, but you got to get in there. You got to be in the mix. It's some of the best value in sports betting industry, and right now is just a great time to jump in. You're getting it at a discount. Also, if you're not looking to purchase anything, get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out all the free stuff. We've got the free email newsletter, which has been amazing, and you always got to check that free picks tab. But the free email newsletter has been incredible, guys. You'll get regular free picks in there like college basketball, NBA, NHL, Olympics, stuff like that. But you will also be in the mix for the best niche sports analysis that you'll find out there, in my opinion, guys. A massive, massive week of golf. Once again, big golf write-ups. Things looking very, very good. Echeverria in the top 10 at 16-1 cashes. Tom Hodge in the top 20. That was a plus 410 play that cashed. And Russell Henley plus 125 to finish in the top 20, and that was listed as a bigger bet. Also cashed over there on the email list. So got to get on those emails, guys. In addition to those golf plays, like I said, Olympics plays in there, UFC plays, any of the niche sports like tennis, NASCAR. Big NASCAR write-up went out. I'm not sure how that did or if that race happened or anything. Not a big NASCAR follower myself, but that email newsletter is a fantastic resource. You got to get over there. It's really easy to sign up. Just set up a free account at stumpthespread.com. They're going to ask for your name and your email address. That's it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single solitary day. You can also find the link to stumpthespread.com in the pinned comment, which you should be checking every single day if you're watching these videos anyway. Also get over to stumpthespread.com to pick up a Stump the Spread hoodie if you're interested in purchasing one of those. It's a great time to grab one. We are currently selling them at cost right now for $39.99. That's basically exactly what it takes us to produce them, and you get free shipping on top of that. Those hoodies can be to you in as little as 7 days. So that is a pretty freaking good deal if I do say so myself. Also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from me here every single solitary day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. And as luck would have it, there's a members only giveaway every single Monday. So you're about to see exactly how this works. We've got this big wheel that's been on screen here for a minute. Put the name of every single current YouTube channel member on that wheel. We are going to click this button and spin it right now live on the video, and whoever it lands on gets a Stump the Spread hoodie of their size mailed straight to their address of choice. Looks like this week's winner is going to be Everyone Matters USA. All right, Everyone Matters USA. Get down there in the comments. Let us know that you see that you won the giveaway. We'll get in contact with you through the comments and let you know how to go about claiming your hoodie, which you can have to your address in as little as 7 days. Love doing these giveaways. The more members that we get, the more giveaways we're going to do. We're only 2 members away from having 125, and we are going to do another giveaway. Actually, you know what? We're doing another giveaway either way. Our next giveaway is going to be on Thursday, so stay tuned for that here coming up on Thursday. And if you're interested in getting in on this, make sure that you're a YouTube channel member by Thursday. But now let's go ahead and dive back and get a ton more games to cover here on a very busy Monday. Make sure that you've subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you're getting over to stumpthespread.com and checking out everything we offer over there, especially getting on that email newsletter and signing up for a free account, get those free picks, and check out the discounted premium stuff as well. Now let's get back after it. Next up, we're looking at the Grambling Tigers going on the road, taking the Prairie View A&M Panthers. Grambling comes into this game 11-13 on the season, 5-6 out there in the SWAC. They're fresh off back-to-back losses, not having a great time there at Texas Southern the last time out, although I guess it was a very close game, but doesn't really feel great to lose those close ones. We'll see what they can do here on the road against Prairie View. They've beat them 76-72 earlier this season. All that being said, though, Grambling is not really up to their normal standard, guys. Around 350th in the nation total offense. They don't really have a solid leading scorer. They're not rebounding the ball particularly well either, so they could have their hands full even against a pretty weak Prairie View A&M Panthers team that's only 9-16 on the season. They're currently 4-8 in conference play. Tyron Joseph is a solid leading scorer, 20 points per game, but 42% from the field and in a pretty weak conference. And I don't know, man, you've led your team to 3 straight losses. They're coming off a loss against Southern. They lost that one 87-82. We'll see if they can get some revenge here against a Grambling team they lost to by 4 earlier in the season. And in that one, I mean, the Panthers shot 37% from 3. Not a bad day from long range. Grambling, though, shot the lights out in that one and shot more free throws. So we'll see who can come out on top on this one. Prairie View A&M is getting 2.5 points in this game. We've got a total of 151.5. Grambling is 7-6 against the spread on the road, 15-7 to the under. Prairie View is 2-4 against the spread at home, and they're a 500 over-under team. This one definitely feels like an under game to me. I think under 151.5 should be fairly reasonable. That's an awful lot of points, and both teams shot the lights out in their last game and still only got to, 148. So I think the under is definitely in play. In terms of a side, I'll take just a little lean towards the Prairie View A&M Panthers here in a revenge spot at home, but I think the under is by far the better value. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Coppin State Eagles going on the road, taking the South Carolina State Bulldogs. Now, out in the MEAC, Coppin State is not having a good time. They're 3-6 in conference play. They're 5-21 overall. They have won back-to-back games, though, so they'll definitely take it. Obviously, not something they probably super expected. I mean, a 2-point win on the road their last time out, taking down North Carolina Central, I'm sure feels very, very good. We saw Coppin State win this game despite not shooting the ball particularly well from 3 or having an advantage on the boards. They just played good enough defense that North Carolina Central couldn't really throw it in the ocean. So we'll see what they can do here on the road against South Carolina State. The Bulldogs are 4-3 in MEAC play. They're fresh off a loss at Howard, losing that game 85-57. So a blowout. Then they had their game against Morgan State get suspended or postponed, and now they got to take on Coppin State, a team they did beat by 2 earlier this year. This squad over the course of the season has been pretty bad. 434th in the nation total offense. Their defensive numbers are atrocious as well. Have not had much success in conference play and don't really have a solid leading score. Now, South Carolina State, they are 4.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 143.5. Coppin State is 7-9 against the spread on the road this season. They're 16-9 to the over. South Carolina State, they're 4-2 against spread at home. 12-9 to the under. Guys, I'm going to ride with the hot hand that's getting points this one. Coppin State's been playing well. They've won 2 in a row. They haven't been a terrible road team this season either. Give me the Eagles here, playing on the road, getting 4.5 points. It feels like a pretty good deal. Next up, guys, we're looking at some Sun Belt action here between the South Alabama Jaguars and the Marshall Thundering Herd. Now, South Alabama, they're 19-7 on the season. They're currently first in the Sun Belt with a 9-4 conference record. They're coming off a 3rd straight win. They went into Arkansas State and got the nice little W there. They do now have to play their 3rd straight road game, not something that's super easy. They're facing a Marshall team that they have not played yet this year. Chase Harris probably feels like the best player on the floor in this game. 18-19 points per game, 5 assists. also shooting 54% from the field. That's all very respectable. The Jaguars play some very solid defense, giving up 68.8 points per game. Their rebounding numbers aren't necessarily off the charts good, neither are their offensive numbers, but they've been good enough to get the job done the vast majority of the time here in conference play. So we'll see what they do here on the road against Marshall. The Thundering Herd are 8-5 in conference play, so very, very crowded stuff there atop the Sun Belt. Watt Fricks leads the way for this squad, 15 points per game, shooting 54% from the field, but Jalen Sleeper might be the better player, guys. He's putting up 15 per game, nearly 6 assists. This squad is around the top 100 in the nation total offense. Their rebounding numbers are very good. The Thundering Herd like to do some thundering. They get out there and they run. They are coming off a tough loss against Georgia Southern, but at 8-5 in conference play, they're still very, very much in the mix. We'll see what they can do in this one. They are playing at home, which should be nice. They're 4.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 150.5. South Alabama, though, is 8-5 against spread on the road, 13-11 to the over. Marshall, only 3-9-1 against the spread at home this year, 14-10-1 to the over themselves. Maybe I could wrap my head around over 150.5. I actually think that's a pretty decent lean in this spot, but in terms of a side, I got to take South Alabama and the points. Despite the fact they're playing on the road here, Marshall just has not been a very good team at home. They are getting back home after playing 2 straight on the road. Maybe that'll help, but I think South Alabama is the side you want in this one. Rapid fire through these games. We're looking at the Lamar Cardinals going on the road, taking the UT Rio Grande Valley Vaqueros. Now, Lamar, they're 12-14 on the season. They are 7-10 in conference play out there in the Southland. They're coming off a, third straight loss? Yeah, they lost at San Francisco. It has not been good. It has not been good. I don't have a lot of good stuff to say. They lost at Stephen F. Austin. They lost versus Northwestern State. And then they lost against AMCC, which is, not exactly a great loss. So we'll see what they do in this one. Rob Lee Jr. leads the way for this team with 16 points per game. Their offensive numbers, though, are atrocious. They're a decent defensive team. Their rebounding numbers are kind of impressive. The pace they play at does kind of help with the defense, but the rebounding is something you have to at least give them a little bit of credit for. So we'll see what Lamar can do in this specific matchup. They did lose by 11 against the Vaqueros, but that was much, much earlier in the season. So we'll see what UT Rio Grande Valley can do in this one. They're 14-12 on the season, 10-7 in conference play. They're fresh off a loss to Stephen F. Austin, which everybody in the Southland is losing to Stephen F. Austin. So I don't have too many negative things to say about that. UT Rio Grande Valley, they're 218th in the nation total offense. Their rebounding numbers aren't great, but their defensive numbers are very solid. Corey Cotton is a decent leading scorer. We like the point guard play we've seen from Jalen Washington. This team had been on a 8-game winning streak before that loss. I like a lot of what I'm seeing here from UT Rio Grande Valley, and they're in a big bounce back spot. They are 6.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 141.5. Lamar is 7-5 against spread on the road, 13-11 to the over. Rio Grande Valley 4-6 against spread at home, 14-10 to the under. Guys, I'm going with the Vaqueros here at home. Give me UT Rio Grande Valley here at -6.5. I think they do find a way to get the win and cover here against Lamar. The Cardinals, they've had a bit of a rough time. They've kept games not really even that close against teams not quite as good as UT Rio Grande Valley. So I think we see the Vaqueros come away with the win and cover in this one. Next on the dock, we got the New Orleans Privateers going on the road to take the Incarnate Word Cardinals. Now, New Orleans, they're 11-15 on the season, 9-8 in conference play, though, so not looking all that shabby. They come into this game fresh off of a tough 1-point loss there at HCU, which that's got to sting a little bit, especially against a team far below you in the conference standings. Colton Benson, a decent leading scorer, 16 points per game. Buckley is a very good point guard, 15 points and 5.5 assists per game. You don't find that growing on trees. This team isn't great defensively. I think those numbers are a little skewed. The offensive numbers are fine. They're a good rebounding team. We'll see what they can do here against Incarnate Word, a team they played much earlier in the season and eventually won by 1 point. Now, that was so long ago. I don't really know if there's a ton we can take from that. They are about to go on a 3-game road trip, so we'll see how that works here. Incarnate Word, the Cardinals, they're 5-12 in conference play, 10-16 overall. They're fresh off of a third straight loss. They lost to McNeese, lost at Sela, and then lost to Nichols, 91-83 their last time out. Not a lot pointed in the right direction. They do have a decent leading scorer in Davion Bailey, but 18 points per game when you're shooting 39% from the field. Not going to freak out about that. This squad does have a little bit of offensive firepower, but defensively they're not great, and they're not a very good rebounding team at all. That definitely feels like that'll be a weakness for them in this matchup. Despite that, Incarnate Word, they are 1.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 156.5 in this game. New Orleans 8-9 against the spread on the road, 17-9 to the over. Incarnate Word 4-5 against spread at home, 12-11 to the over. Over 156.5 is kind of a big number, but these two teams did get to 167 the last time they played, so I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. In terms of side, I am going to lean towards New Orleans here a bit on the road. I just think they're slightly the better team. They don't have quite the offensive firepower, but I think they could dominate the boards here, and I think that's what sets them apart in this spot. Rolling along here, guys, we got the McNeese Cowboys going on the road to taking the Northwestern State Demons out there in the Southland. Now, McNeese, they're 21-5 on the season. They're 14-3 in conference play. A couple games back there of Stephen F. Austin. They come into this game fresh off a third straight win. They just took down East Texas A&M in an absolute blowout, which, I mean, East Texas A&M is terrible, but we do see the Cowboys win that one 97-54. They also played a very close game there against Houston Christian. So this McNeese team, not nearly as infallible as they've been in some other seasons. Their year-long numbers look good. They're in the top 80 in the nation total offense, only giving up 66, 67 points per game, and Larry Johnson is a legit leading scorer, 17 per game, 52% from the field. Not a lot to pick at about that. We'll see what they can do here on the road against Northwestern State. The Demons, they're 6-11 on the season. They've got a decent leading scorer in Micah Thomas, 45% from the field and 17 per game. They've won their last two in a row, going to Lamar and getting a 2-point win and getting a 3-point win over Sela. Now a pretty big test for them here going up against McNeese team that they played early in the season and lost 92-54. Now, that was a road game. We'll see if, the Northwestern State Demons can make this one a little bit more competitive. They probably feel like they've got a legit shot here, guys. They're getting 13.5 points. We've got a total of 137.5. McNeese, only 2-8-1 against the spread on the road. But obviously, the last time on the road was a blowout win. So we'll see what they do this time. They're 12-11 to the under. Northwestern State, they're 5-4 against the spread at home. 14-10 to the over. This is an awful lot of points, and McNeese is not very good playing on the road this season. They have a game against who's on the deck? Nobody too crazy coming up next. I think this is still an okay spot to back the McNeese Cowboys. I think they probably win this game by 20 plus. Playing on the road has not been their favorite thing to do, but they were so dominant the first time these two teams met. I think they find a way to get the win and cover here on the road. Cruising through these games here on Monday, guys, we have the Abilene Christian Wildcats heading to Tarleton State to take on the Texans. Now, Abilene Christian, they're 12-13 on the season, 4-8 in WAC play. They're fresh off back-to-back wins, taking down UTA and taking down Tarleton State. So this is a little two-game series. Game one was a home game for the Wildcats here, a home game for Abilene Christian. Well, game two is going to be a road game. They got the 73-59 win in game one. We liked a lot of what we saw there from Abilene Christian. I mean, they shot the ball really well, 35% from three. They shot 11 more free throws and made a lot of them, and they dominated the glass, which might be the bigger deal in this spot. So we'll see if that can happen again. Tarleton State, they're 12-13 on the season. 3-9 in conference play, so actually the current bottom team in the WAC. They're coming off that loss. They had gotten a win before that, but nothing really that special cooking for this squad. They don't have a very good leading scorer. They're around 400th in the nation total rebounding, and that's what that cost them the game in this first matchup. So we'll see what happens in this one. Tarleton State, guys, they are 1.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 135.5. Abilene Christian, 6-4-1 against the spread on the road this season, 12-10 to the over. Tarleton State, 4-4 against the spread at home, 11-10 to the under. Guys, I love Abilene Christian in this game. I think they're by far the better team. I think they'll dominate the boards once again. Even if the shooting numbers cool off a little bit, I don't think that's going to matter too much. Definitely give me the Wildcats here playing on the road. Next on the dock, we're looking at the Florida A&M Rattlers going on the road to the Alcorn State Braves. Now, the Rattlers, guys, they're 9-14 on the season. Florida A&M, they've been middle of the road in the SWAC this season. They're coming off of a tough, a 20-point loss there at Jackson State. So not a great look there, and they have lost 5 of their last 6 overall. So we'll see what they can do in this specific matchup. They did beat Alcorn State earlier this season, 66-58. So that helps a little bit, I'm sure, in terms of the confidence levels. But this team lacks a legitimate leading scorer. They're not very good defensively, and they're not very good on the board. So that's a lot of negatives here as they go on the road to take on the Alcorn State Braves, who are also pretty bad. They're 5-7 in conference play. They're 6-18 overall. They're fresh off of back-to-back wins, though. They beat Mississippi Valley State, so one of the worst teams in the nation, and got the 57-55 nail-biter of a win over Bethune-Cookman. So they are playing a little bit better right now. That being said, they're 521st in the nation total rebounding. They're 422nd in the nation in points per game. They don't have a good leading score. Obviously, this is just not a very good team. Now, they are still 1.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 137.5. Florida A&M, they're 6-7 against the spread on the road, 14-7 to the under this season. Alcorn State, they're 4-1 against spread at home, 12-11-1 to the over. Guys, Alcorn State is coming off a game where we saw 112 total points scored, and Florida A&M is a huge under team. Give me the under in this game, better than any lean on the side. Besides, in terms of a lean on the side, if you're begging me for one, I will take Florida A&M on the road, but I think the under is the better play in this one. Rolling right along, guys, we have the Southern Jaguars going on the road to take on the Texas Southern Tigers. Now, the Jaguars, they come in this game 12-13 on the season. They are winners of 4 in a row, so got to be feeling pretty good. A win over Jackson State, a win over AAMU, taking down Alabama State, and then a 5-point road win there over Prairie View. So things are definitely pointed in the right direction here for the Southern Jaguars. They're 8-4 in conference play, so they are in second place behind Bethune-Cookman. Michael Jacobs is a very solid leading scorer and point guard. 19, 20 points per game and 5 assists per game. Very, very good work there. This team is around 100th in the nation total offense. Not a great defensive team. They're okay on the boards. We'll see what they can do here against Texas Southern. Obviously, this is a squad that can put up plenty of points. They've already beaten Texas Southern once this year, winning 84-73, and that was a home game, obviously, for the Jaguars. Now, the Texas Southern Tigers, they come into this game 6-6 in conference play, 8-15 overall. They're fresh off an 82-79 win there over Grambling, so they do find themselves maybe in a little bit of a letdown spot after a kind of rare win. They're a really weak rebounding team, guys, 304th in the nation total rebounding. They're giving up around 80 points per game, but they do score the ball a little bit. Troy Hupstead is a good leading scorer, 15, 16 points per game, 50% from the field. Nothing wrong with that. We'll see what that can translate into for this game. At least they're at home for this one. In their loss earlier this season to Southern, we liked a lot of what we saw there from the Jaguars shooting the ball. Both teams shot about the same number of free throws. The rebounding numbers were pretty even, but Southern just shot the ball much, much better in this matchup. And I will lean a bit towards, the Southern Jaguars -2.5 here on the road. I think they can find a way to get the win and cover, but I do like the over in this game. Southern is 14-8 to the over this season. Texas Southern is 12-9 to the over. Definitely think over 153.5 is very much in play for two teams that really like to get up and down. We saved the best for last on this one, guys. We got the number 3 Houston Cougars going on the road, taking the number 5 Iowa State Cyclones. Now, Houston, they're 23-2 on the season, absolutely killing it. They're on a 6-game winning streak. They are coming off a 78-64 win there over Kansas State. Before that, they took down Utah. Before that, they took down BYU. They've got some huge wins under their belts this season. They're looking like one of the best teams in the nation. They're 11-1 in Big 12 play. Absolutely killing it out there. They've done everything they really need to do. Emmanuel Sharp leads this team in scoring, but Kingston Flemings is right there, and this squad plays some of the most physical, suffocating defense in college basketball. They're really good on the boards. They're really good offensively. There's not a lot of weaknesses for this team, so we'll see what they can do here, playing a very tough opponent and going on the road, just taking the Iowa State Cyclones, who are number 5 in the nation, guys. They've been having a great season overall. They are fresh off of a really nice win there over Kansas. Getting a win over a number 9 team in the nation is never easy, although they made it look pretty easy. They were at home for this one, a 74-56 blowout win in a bounce back situation after they laid an egg there against TCU. Now, this Iowa State team, always has just a reputation for being a defense first kind of squad, and they're only giving up 64.5 points per game, but they're 36th in the nation total offense. Not maybe a dominant rebounding team. I have to give them a little bit of maybe a B grade on their rebounding, but overall, this team has been very good, and they're packed with talent. So we'll see if they can avoid the letdown spot after that win over Kansas. They are 2.5-point favorites here at home. We've got a total of 134.5. Houston 4-2 against the spread on the road, 15-10 to the under. Iowa State 7-6-1 against spread at home, 14-11 to the under. Guys, we're getting the Houston Cougars here as underdogs. I think they're by far the better team. I know playing on the road can be really tough, but Houston's been fine on the road this season. Give me the Cougars here, getting 2.5 points. This could potentially be our dog of the day, or might just make the pinned comment on its own, but either way, guys, it's definitely going to make it in there. I think the Cougars are in excellent shape in this game, whether you take them on the money line or getting those 2.5 points. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today on a pretty busy Monday. do me a huge favor and hit that like button. It really helps get these videos promoted out there and keeps these videos coming out every single day. Subscribe to the channel. If you're new around here, we're on the road to 100K subscribers, and we are making lots and lots of progress. So join the group, get in there, and that'll help make sure you don't miss out on our videos ever. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you, and I can reach out to the premium handicappers at stumpthespread.com and help answer your questions that way too. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Click the link in the description, get over there to stumpthespread.com and check out those red hot premium picks there over on the college basketball side, and they're at a discounted rate, so this is a great time to jump in. Also check out all the great free stuff at stumpthespread.com. That email newsletter has just been printing value for everybody that sees it, and the free picks tab has been a great resource also. Guys, we'll see you right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.